Sino si Manoy Wilbert Lee? Isang Bicolano. Tubong Sorsogon, pinalaki at hinubog ng kanyang mga magulang na may malasakit at patulungin sa kapwa. Mula sa simpleng tindahan na itinayo ng kanyang ama sa Sorsogon, napalago niya ito para maging LKY Group of Companies. Ang LKY ay nasa larangan ng retail, food, real estate, hospitality at mall and town development. Naging daan ito sa paglikha ng libo-libong trabaho sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa. Sa kagustuhang makatulong sa kapwa, itinatag ni Manoy Wilbert ang LKY Foundation na tumutulong sa mga Pilipinong may sakit at biktima ng kalamidad. Sa hangarin niyang mas makatulong pa sa mas maraming Pilipino, pinasok niya ang serbisyo publiko. Siya ngayon ang kinatawa ng Agri-Party List sa Kongreso. Bilang mambabatas, naghain na siya ng mahigit 300 batas at resolusyon na ang pangunahing layunin ay makapagsulong ng tiyak na trabaho, dagdag na kita, sapat at murang pagkain at ng patas at dekalidad na serbisyong pangkalusugan para sa bawat Pilipino. Kasama niya sa misyong ito ang kanyang asawa na si Delph na 2 termino ring nanungkulan bilang kinatawa ng Agri-Party List. Ang kanilang mga anak ay sina Rebecca, Robina, Jeremy at Johan. Siya si Manoy Wilbert Lee, isang anak, asawa, ama, matagumpay na negosyante at tapat na lingkod bayan. Ang layunin at panawagan ni Manoy Wilbert, murang pagkain, tiyak na trabaho, dagdag na kita at mabuting kalusugan para sa lahat. Gawin na natin.
Majority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Wilbert T. Lee of the Party List Agri for his interpellation.
Party List Agri, Representative Wilbert E. Lee. You're recognized, sir. Please proceed.
Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, dear colleagues, will the good sponsor yield to some questions from these representations?
Willingly, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, with all due respect, Madam Sponsor, kung pwede lang po as brief as possible yung sagot kasi mahaba po yung mga tanong ko, baka maubos yung oras. Thank you, Madam Sponsor.
We submit, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, tama po ba ang aking estimate na sa susunod na taon, 16 million metric tons ang estimated rice demand ng ating bansa?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Sa budget natin sa susunod na taon amounting to 31.4 billion para sa National Rice Program, sapat na ba ang karagdagang 1 billion para mapunuan natin once and for all ang kakulangan sa 16 million metric tons na konsumo natin, or itong 1 billion increase na ito ay kulang pa or tama na ba or nakadesign ba ito para mag-import ulit tayo, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor?
The 1 billion, Mr. Speaker, is not enough. However, since the implementation mandates preparation, we are forced to import around a maximum of 20%, more or less.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, kulang, pero bakit po 1 billion? Bakit po hindi natin ito dagdagan? No? Importation ba talaga ang solusyon natin dito? Yan ba ang polisiya natin, ang solusyon ng DA taon-taon? What is the best case scenario or support needed by the DA para mapababa natin po ang importasyon? Maging mura ang bigas at winner ang mga magsasaka at consumer natin.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, importation will never be a norm in our country. However, we are at a situation that when we talk about rice self-sufficiency, we achieve it on a step-by-step basis. Kailangan ang tamang irigasyon, kailangan ang tamang preparation, kailangan ang resiliency, kailangan ang post-harvest facilities, kailangan din ang pagtuturo sa ating mga rice farmers to increase their yield. In other words, it's a holistic approach. Kaya, yes, we are still importing 20% of our demand. However, by 2028, we expect that to be zero. So it will be a transition of 20% down to 15, down to 10, down to 5, and we reach the target of rice self-sufficiency by 2028.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ilang dekada na po kasi ito, no? Therefore, gusto ko talaga malaman no, how we can address this with the lands available that we have in the country and what interventions po ang kailangan natin. No? So Congress can help appropriate and give the DA the necessary budget support. Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, no? Kaya kung po pwede, yung DA mag-submit po ng kanilang recommendation, no? Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, kung paano po ito talaga masusolusyonan, paano po natin ito ma-address. Kasi bilang representante po ng ating pong agrikultura, gusto ko po talagang maintindihan ito kung ano po yung gustong gawin ng DA, no? But for the interest of time, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, kung pwede po, ibigay na lang po ng DA ang kanilang plano po dito. And let me proceed to my next question.
We will submit the comprehensive plan that DA has. And Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker, the DA family would actually like to thank the Honorable Lee because his advocacy and his group has actually been dedicated in serving our farmers.
Yes, my next question, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, as flash on the screen, alam na po natin at nakita nyo sa balita yung itinatapon ng mga kamatis, mga luya na binebenta ng palugi, mga pinamimigay na labanos, sangkaterbang repolyo sa kalsada at iba pang produktong nasayang at patuloy na nasasayang. In fact, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, may nagpakamatay pa po tungkol dito na farmer ng sibuyas, no, Mr. Speaker, sa Pangasinan. Isang dahilan ba kaya nangyayari yan ay dahil sa matinding kakulangan ng ating post-harvest facilities?
Well, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, dalawa po ang problema ditong nakita. Una, yung cold storage, and then yung processing ng ating agricultural products. Kaya nga po, yung ating DA ngayon ay nagkaroon ng two-pronged approach. There is an allocation of 1.5 billion for cold storage facilities. Kasi kaakibat po talaga ng mga produkto sa agrikultura ay ang ating cold storage facilities para pahabain ang kanyang buhay. In addition to that, there is also the proposal of processing plants because this will put to use the agricultural products that is being harvested.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ito pong cold storage, ito pong processing plant, this is part of the post-harvest facilities. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Then, sinasabi na ito po talaga yung kakulangan natin, di ba? So, ang tanong ko po, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, kung alam natin na ito po yung problema at kulang po ito, bakit po hindi natin dinagdagan ng pondo para sa post-harvest facilities na ilang taon ko na pong dito po sa plenaryo, ilang taon ko na pong pinaglalaban na madagdagan, no? Yung pong mga naaksaya na produkto dahil sa kawalan o kakulangan ng post-harvest facilities ay nagdudulot po ng labis na pasakit sa ating mga magsasaka. Dapat po natin itong solusyonan agad-agad. Kawawa po ang ating mga magsasaka na marami ang nalulugi, nalulubog sa utang, itinatapon ang mga produktong pinaghirapan, tumitigil sa pagsasaka at ibinebenta ang lupang sakahan. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, ang iba po ay sumusuko na sa buhay dahil po sa ganitong sitwasyon. Ngayong taon, Madam Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ang pre-harvest budget natin ay 55.97 billion at ang post-harvest budget ay 16.4 billion. Sa susunod na taon, ang pre-harvest budget ng DA ay 58.45 billion pero ang post-harvest budget natin ay 13.51 billion. Hindi man lang po nangalahati at binawasan pa. Bakit po hindi kayang ipantay ang pre-harvest sa post-harvest, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor? Ilang beses na po natin ito pinupuna pero puro commitment na lang. Does the sponsor, support this representation to propose at the proper time the sufficient increase in post-harvest facilities and equipment for our farmers and fisher folks.
We don't object to the proposal of our distinguished colleague, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, yes, we have a budget of 500 million for cold storage this year, currently being bidded, 1.5 billion for next year. But we also have ODA. But yes, we do agree with our distinguished colleague na talagang kailangan pa siyang dagdagan. And we welcome the proposals and the amendments that our distinguished colleague will be introducing at the appropriate time.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, my next question is, agree ba tayo o maliwanag ba sa atin na itong kadiwa ay isang paraan para maabot natin ang inaasam nating lahat na murang pagkain?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, isa po yan sa maraming paraan.
So, therefore, maliwanag po na ang kadiwa ay isang paraan, gaya ng sabi mo, upang maabot natin ang murang pagkain. Sa pamamagitan ng mga kadiwa centers, mas mura at madali ang access ng mga mamimili sa mga produkto na makakatulong sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan.
I agree, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, bakit po, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, bakit po from 467 million ngayong taon, nabawasan ang programa ng 217 million, kaya naging 250 million na lang ito next year. Ibig ba sabihin dito, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, magbabawas ba tayo ng mga kadiwa stores at food terminals across the country? Malaking budget slash to, Mr. Speaker, dahil ngayong taon, yung 467 million, ay alam natin kulang na kulang at iilan lang po ang naitatayo.
Well, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, actually, hindi po siya natapyasan at hindi po siya binawas. Ang nangyari po dito in the course of the budget deliberation at nung nagsanib puwersa na ang Kongreso at ang Senado, nakitaan ng ibang sources. So much so that an outside source of 250 million was seen and was used to augment that program. So yun po parang one-time source, pero we will submit, Mr. Speaker, that with the proper representation of our distinguished colleague, talaga naman pong kailangan dagdagan ang kadiwa projects.
So, just for clarification, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, magkano na po talaga ang magiging budget ngayon ng kadiwa, no?
So, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, just to give a comparison, for 2024, ang allocation po sa kadiwa ay 250. Naging 467 million po ito dahil nga nadagdagan ng mga nakitaang one-time source. For 2025, the budget for Kadiwa is again pegged at 250 million, but we expect that the 217 million that was added for 2024, there's also the possibility of augmenting this fund at the appropriate time with the properly pinpointed sources.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, for the record, this representation strongly support the establishment of agri-food terminals, kadiwa, sa buong bansa. Does the sponsor support this representation to propose at the proper time na dagdagan po natin ang budget po nitong kadiwa dahil napaka-importante po nito sa atin?
Definitely, Mr. Speaker. Dagdag po dyan, hindi lang po siya murang pagkain, but it is also an avenue for farmers to sell their products, kagaya sa advokasya ng ating kagalang-galang na colleague, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ang next question ko po ay tungkol po sa ating irigasyon. Ako po'y nagulat na malaki ang naging tapya sa budget para sa irigasyon na kailanang marami po nating magsasaka. From 70.2 billion ngayong taon, ang proposed ay 27.6 billion na lamang. Sa ngayon, 1.2 million hectares o 1.2 milyong hektarya ng ating sakahan ay unirrigated. Ito po ang nakalulungkot dyan. Ang nakakalungkot dyan, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. Kung irrigated ang lupa, 4.51 metric tons per hectare ang kaya natin po maproduce. Pag hindi irrigated, babagsak ito to 3.34 metric tons. Ang mga kapitbahay natin tulad ng Vietnam sa atin nagpaturo ng rice production. Pero ngayon, halos 8 metric tons per hectare ang kanila pong production yield. Kung mabibigyan natin ng pondo ang irigasyon at ma-implement ito ng maayos, tiyak po na magkakaroon tayo ng makabuluhang karagdagang produksyon ng pagkain. Bakit po ngayon, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, hindi natin binigyan ng pondo ang irigasyon, binawasan pa natin ito? And kanina lang po, nakausap ko ang ating pong Administrator Guillen ng NIA, and I have to comment yung pong NIA dahil ang sabi niya sa akin, yung kanila pong target this year ay halos patapos na. At kung ito ay maging 27.6 billion lang, baka po daw March ng next year ay wala na po silang gagawin. So Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, bakit po ito nabawasan at hindi po ito instead na madagdagan para po itong 1.2 milyong hektarya ng ating sakahan ay malagyan po ng irigasyon. At tinanong ko rin kanina kay Administrator Guillen, yung kanilang absorptive capacity, wala raw po itong problema.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we agree on the statements of 4.51 metric tons vis-a-vis the 3.34 metric tons kung hindi nga ma-irrigate yung ating yung target na sinasabi ng ating kagalang-galang na colleague. However, for the record, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, hindi po tinapyasan or binawasan ang pondo ng agrikultura dahil ang 2024 NEP ay 41.27 billion while ang 2025 NEP is 42.5657 billion. We, however, admit that the GAA of 2024 is 70.22 billion because there were viable, ready, and important urgent projects that were funded in 2024 and the funds were again taken from one-time insertions. Pero ito po kasi ay natapos na ng 2024. In other words, it is not a continuing project and the source of funds was done during the time that the NEP was being deliberated while preparing for the GAA. And yes, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, nothing precludes our honorable colleague from proposing an increase. It is just that we have to do it at the appropriate time because a subsequent increase, it will actually mean as a commensurate source of funds. Yan po ang nangyari. So wala pong tinapyas, pero nung dinideliberate ang NEP to GAA, nagkaroon ng dagdag. Kaya from 41.27 naging 70.22. However, yung mga dinagdag na ito ay projects for completion. So hindi siya pwedeng ipagpatuloy sa 2025 dahil tapos na po ang mga proyekto na ito. But yes, we admit that NIA still has the absorptive capacity and that is precisely the reason why there is a proposal for a NIA DPWH convergence so that the Sabo dams can be funded via a collaboration of DPWH and NIA.
Yes, thank you, Madam Sponsor. Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, sa 1.2 million hectares na unirrigated, for the information of everyone, kung ito po ay ma-irrigate, karagdagang 1.404 million metric tons ng bigas ang maproproduce natin kung basehan natin ang average natin ngayon na 4.51 metric tons per hectare. Kung mabibigyan natin ng pondong irigasyon, makakamit natin o madadagdagan po ang atin pong food security. Kaya dapat po mag-focus tayo sa pondo para dito, sa halip po na sa kung ano-anong proyekto po ang pinaglalagyan natin ng pondo na hindi naman po nakakamatay kapag hindi po nagawa. So,
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, as long as we have the source, by all means, we submit and we agree that the funds of NIA can be augmented.
yes, can the, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, can the sponsor commits to look for this fund, no? Dahil napaka-importante po ito sa atin na irigasyon na to.
Well, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we will relay it to the Committee on Appropriations Chair as well as our Senior Vice Chair and the members of the Bicameral Conference Committee. Naiintindihan naman po ng lahat, and even the administrator of NIA has always been representing the needs of our farmers. In fact, I was told that tomorrow he will have again another meeting with the President where he will lay down the targets, the wishes, and the absorptive capacity that they have. At we have the assurance from our administration that this will be complied with. Unfortunately, hindi kasi pwedeng pagsabay-sabayin kaagad yung lahat ng programa, kaya nga tinitingnan yung collaboration ng NIA at ng DPWH because it's a whole chain leading to increased yield and increased productivity, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. My next question is about po dun sa napabalita na mga rice na hindi po nakukuha dun sa atin pong port, no? Ayon sa Philippine Ports Authority, there are several rice importers who are deliberately holding their shipments inside the Manila International Container Terminal hanggang tumaas daw po ang presyo. Ang tanong ko, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, kasi ang unang napabalita ay due to port congestion. Ngayon po, ang sabi po ng port, dahil daw po deliberately hindi kinukuha itong mga bigas na to na na-process na. Ang tanong ko, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, hindi po ba ang Bureau of Plant Industry ang nag-i-issue ng sanitary and phytosanitary import clearance at may DA Memorandum Circular 35 na nagsasaad that the actual product consignment must be shipped out within 60 days from the date the SPSC is issued, regardless of the country of origin. So,
Well, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, tama po ang iyong impormasyon. Subalit, yung mga bigas na ito na nasa customs ngayon ay hindi pa lumalampas sa 30 days. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we look at this as a probable business style. Kasi po, ang warehousing sa loob ng customs ay mas mura rather than warehouses outside. So maybe the traders are doing this so that they can lessen the cost of storage and warehousing. But you have our commitment, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, that the DA family has already made representations with the Bureau of Customs and the Philippine Ports Authority so that this will be released. And they are also already talking at ipapalabas na po ito. Kaya lang siyempre dahil nga sa batas ay meron tayong 30 days holding period, medyo hindi natin mapilit kaagad na palabasin.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, masasayang po yung EO62 na inisyu po ng ating Pangulo, no? Kung hindi natin ito mailalabas agad, kung nandyan lang ito, regardless, tumataas po lalo ang cost po nito. Now, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, is it fair to say that pagkatapos po mag-issue ng necessary permits, hands-off na ba ang BPI at wala ng monitoring? Nakarating po itong mga inangkat na to sa merkado o sa palengke? I ask this because, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, it worries me that the BPI data on food supply outlook is not a reliable source of information as far as supply situation is considered kung naputol ang info database ng value chain because BPI is not monitoring saan napunta ang mga inaangkat na agri-commodities. Import ng import po tayo, pero hindi naman po na-monitor, hindi po na ilalabas, therefore, hindi bumababa ang presyo po sa palengke at merkado.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, yung mga permit po na ito is about food safety. And in fairness to the Bureau of Plant Industry, they are regularly and consistently monitoring this. In fact, they have quarterly reports being submitted. Unfortunately, yung ibang traders na pinapatagal nila doon sa warehouse ng mga pier ay medyo nagte-take advantage because of the reduction in cost. So wala pong effect yung 15% reduction in tariff because we believe that after the series of meetings conducted by DA and PPA, they found out that some of the traders are doing this because the cost of warehousing in the port is a lot cheaper than warehousing outside. However, Mr. Speaker, we submit to the wisdom of our colleague that this will actually result to port congestion. And the DA family is assuring our colleague, Mr. Speaker, that this is a situation that they have been deliberating upon and addressing, and they are on top of the situation.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. Ano ang plano po dito ng DA? No? Hindi ba natin ito mapipigilan? Hindi ba natin, yes, yung admittedly, sinasabi po ninyo na mas mura po yung warehouse dun sa loob ng port. Wala ba po tayong magagawa dito? No? Ang DA ba nakikipag-ugnayan sa PCC or sa law enforcement tungkol dito? Can this be considered as hoarding, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor? By this week, mapipirmahan na po yung atin pong Anti-Agricultural Economic Sabotage Act ng ating Pangulo. Meron po doon malinaw yung hoarder. Ito bang mga ganitong pangyayari na ayaw ilabas sa bodega, pwede ba natin itong ma-consider na hoarding?
Well, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, hindi po siya hoarding, no? Kasi hindi pa nila nalalampasan yung 30 days na binigay. However, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, minarapat ng ating DA family at ng Bureau of Customs at ng Philippine Ports Authority and PBA na magkaroon ng pag-uusap. In fact, as of the current time, pakonti-konti na pong nilalabas ito, and they have already come up with unwritten rules and unwritten arrangements that the Bureau of Customs and the PPA will do the push for the release of this. However, there is no hoarding. We have sufficient supply outside, and it has not affected the cost of rice as of the current time, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, ang paniwala po kasi ng representasyong ito, dapat po pag dumating po yung ganyang supply ng bigas, agad-agaran po itong mailabas para po dumami yung supply sa merkado, law of supply and demand, bababa po yung presyo. So, in the interest of time, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, gusto ko lang po na malaman ano po yung plano ng DA, ng PPA, at ng iba pa pong ahensya patungkol po dito para po maiwasan na po natin yung mga ganitong pangyayari sa mga susunod po. So, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, may I just request the DA through the sponsor to submit to us a report, a detailed report on this matter, kung ano po yung plano nila para hindi na po maulit yung mga ganito. Ano po yung dapat gawin? May maitutulong ba yung Kongreso? May kailangan ba pong batas na ipasa patungkol po dito o may kailangan po bang baguhin? So may I just
We will
request-
submit a comprehensive
Yes.
report, Mr. Speaker, but just for the record, this is a temporary situation. Ang nangyari kasi, 2 hanggang 3 bagyo ang pumasok that caused the delay of the shipment. At nung dumating nga, yung na-delays dahil sa bagyo, sumunod yung mga regular shipments. So nagkaroon ng bottleneck insofar as releasing this. In other words, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, the DA is giving their assurance that this is a temporary problem and they are on top of the situation and they will never, ever tolerate hoarding to any extent.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, naniniwala po tayong kaya natin makamit ang murang pagkain na inaasam ng bawat Pilipino. Mahalaga ang tamang budget at implementasyon sa rice program para tumaas ang produksyon at maging mura ang bigas. Yung post-harvest facilities, napakahalaga para hindi masayang ang perang inilagay natin sa pre-harvest activities natin, pati na sa mga agri-food terminals na sasalo sa iba't ibang produktong pang-agrikultura sa buong bansa. Hindi rin dapat tuyot sa suporta ang irigasyon Dapat tuloy-tuloy ang agos ng suporta dito mula sa pagsasaayos ng existing ng patubig hanggang sa pagpapagawa ng bago para mapataas ang produksyon ng ating pong mga magsasaka. I invite my colleagues in this August chamber na suportahan at bantayan po natin ang DA sa pagpapatupad ng mga programang ito. Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor,
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we agree with everything that the Honorable Wilbert Lee has conveyed. In fact, with his support, perseverance, dedication, and commitment, together with Agri Party List, talaga naman pong swerte ang ating mga farmers and fisher folks. And the DA family would like to thank the Honorable Wilbert Lee and his group for their dedication to our farming and our agricultural industry.
thank you, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. At the proper time, I will introduce the necessary amendments to increase, number one, our rice program budget from 31.4 billion to kung magkano po ang kailangan. I would ask the DA through the sponsor kung magkano po ang kailangan po idagdag dito to lessen drastically our importation of rice. Number two, our post-harvest facilities and equipment from 13.51 billion to 27 billion, at least half of the pre-harvest activities until mapantay po natin ito sa mga susunod na taon. And of course, to restore or look for funds or pantayan po yung budget po ng Kadiwa Center ngayong taon or kung po pwede pong umabot sa 500 million and irrigation budget to 70.2 billion, kapareho po ngayong taon among others. Ididiin lang po natin, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, food security is a national security issue. This is an expense item. Kapag ang pinag-usapan po ay national security issue, ito po ay automatically dapat ina-appropriatean ng pondo. Dapat priority ang budget dito taon-taon. Hindi ito dapat bawasan, hindi dapat itsapuera, hindi lang kabuhayan ng ating local food producers, food security soldiers ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Tapat na pagkain at mas maaliwalas na buhay ng sambayanang Pilipino ang nakasalalay dito. Sa suporta sa agrikultura, panalo ang masa. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor.
Thank you very much, distinguished colleague. And we confirm, sa bagong Pilipinas, bawal ang magutom. And in this administration, we submit that the honorable colleague is correct, bawat bahay dapat may pagkain.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor. That ends po my interpellation.
Maraming salamat, Madam Sponsor, and of course to Agri Party List, Wilbert Lee.